Hashem Elecha Ben Ashuva Ben Ashuva Ay 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 Shiveinu Hashem Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu We're learning in the month of Teves, Leilun Nishmas Levi ben Yosef, and also for the Refuah Shlema of Ahova Bat Chana, and learning Leilun Nishmas Bas Yefega Bas Yisrael. The week was sponsored by the Beers in memory of Shifra Rivka Bas of Elchanan Yitzchak, anonymously for the Refuah Shlema of Hila Bat Ilana and Aliza Chana Bas Naomi, and by the Deutsches for the Refuah Shlema of Hillel Tiferet Bat Chai Ilana. I also want to add on one more name to learn for the Refuah Shlema of Yisrael Ben Adina. It's Rabbi Shibbol's son who really needs a Refuah Shlema. Okay, so even though this is a Hachana L'Shabbos year, this is actually today, we're towards the end of the Sefer, we're on a Hachana Motzei Shabbos, if there's such a thing even like that. Hachana Motzei Shabbos. Which is pretty anticlimactic, but you'll see this amazing tallis here. If you have this sefer, open up the daf Shin Tzadik Hey, Rav Binyamin, in Be'er Chaim, Shin Tzadik Hey.
Preparing you for the MSBs?
Huh?
Preparing you for the
right,
MSBs?
it's preemptive strikes for the MSBs. The Motzei Shabbos blues. This Torah. It's very strange. This Torah may be even more important than all the Torahs we've learned about Hachana L'Shabbos. You'll see why. A beautiful, beautiful teaching. Short teaching, beautiful teaching. If you could prepare properly to avoid the inevitable milchamas that start taking place Motzei Shabbos, it may make Shabbos even more smoother. Like if you think about it like this is a Hachana L'Shabbos here, because you already know I'm not falling into the same shtuyot that gets me a lot on Motzei Shabbos. So look what he says here. Kipul tallis, the folding of the tallis. B'magen Avram, Siman Shin, Hevi b'shem Ariel, shayalo talit miyuchad shel Shabbos. He had a special tallis, Shabbos tallis. Vaya koflo b'chol Motzei Shabbos kedei lis'asek b'mitzvah miyad. Like many of us have this inyan that the tallis that you wear on Shabbos day, you don't fold it after davening. The only time you fold it after davening in a shul, if it's not your own tallis, is when you know that next day it's going to be used again by, like Friday night, for instance, I fold the tallis after davening, because in the morning I know that tallis is going to be used again for the shliach tzibur. But ke'ikaron, you're not supposed to fold your tallis after davening on Shabbos day. And umekubal b'fi ha'olam, and the Kabbalah is, we have a misoras, that this is a sgula for shalom bayis. Okay, please explain to me how folding your tallis after Shabbos is a sgula for shalom bayis.
I was taught because the wife used to buy the husband the tallit. So if the husband has the tallit and just crumbles it onto the couch, and then comes Motzei Shabbos, she's like, I bought this for you. And it's like, oh, do you want to get a new tallis? In other words...
That's nice
Rav Goldberg.
Ashkenazi word, but the Svardish chevra, you've been wearing a tallis since your bar mitzvah, no?
Yeah, and I also...
I mean, we thank you, but...
It's easier because when you look in the next section, you don't know who's available.
When your wife's busy cleaning up.
I was told if you don't fold your laundry at home, you can't fold your tallis at shul.
Deep.
No,
Yeah.
when your wife's busy cleaning up after Shabbos, you have a reason to be busy also.
Here, all the chokhmas, here we go. We talk about shalom bayis and cynicism starts to...
Putting the cynicism aside for a second,
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be a connection to when we learned earlier in the Sefer about when you prepare the Shabbos table early enough in the day on Erev Shabbos. It's skula for Shalom Bayis.
Right.
So maybe there's a kesher.
Maybe, he doesn't bring it, but maybe. Could be. Not in today's year, but we have 2 weeks of this, so maybe, could be. V'amru chachmei hamusar, ki remez yesh badavar. What's the pnimius here? Shekashem shesidur hatalis, hu al yidei shemekapla pam achas, v'achar kach kofla shenis u'shlishis, ad asher tiyeh mesuderes karoi v'chayos, kach achinami, הרוצה לזכוס לשלום בייס, עליו לקפל את עצמו, שוב ושוב ולהכניע עצמו, בלא להסעקש לעמוד על דייתו, ועל ידי מידס הוויתור, יזכה שתישור השלום והשלום בביתו. That's amazing, huh? What does this mean? That's total mic drop. What does it mean? It means what do you do with the tallis after Shabbos, right? So it's not like a book, like you close a book and then it's finished. You do one kipul, then another kipul, one folding, then another folding, another folding, until it's right and it's neat. He says, whoever really wants to be zecher v'shalom bayis, wow. Alav lekapelis atzmo, shuv v'shuv 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 v'shuv. You have to fold yourself over and over and over again, without being mitakesh, means insistent and persistent. Like it has to be your way. Through the midah of vitur, of letting go, there'll be shalom and shalva in your house. Now look at footnote Aleph on the bottom of here. It's very, very beautiful. This I'm sure many of you have heard before. Kayotze bedavar omer minhag Yisrael. Shebesiyum tefillah shmona esrei poseh shalosh psios v'koreh letzad smol. When I finish davening shmona esrei, I take 3 steps back. I take a bow to the left side and I say, Oseh shalom b'imroimav. May God makes peace up there in the heavens. And when he turns to the right, he says, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu, he makes peace upon us. Ubechriyaso, and then kenegdo, and then when you bow down forward, Messiah, and you end off in saying, Val kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ki aderech lehashkin shalom ba'olam, the way to bring down peace into the world, hu rak acharei sheposeh mimakomo gimel psios umevater mishalo. He's saying everyone holds on to their makom in this world. He says, how does peace start? That I take 3 steps back from my domain, my das, what I know to be right and true and the right way. I take 3 steps back from it. And I'm mivater on it. V'chen noda, v'chen korea, umachnias atzmo l'chol ha'amdim mitzadav. And then you bow down before all that's around you and in front of you. There's 2 things happening. One is the actually leaving your space, taking 3 steps back. And then the other level is that I'm also kilu machnias atzmi. I look at every side of me and I'm saying, what do you have to say? What do you have to say? And kamuvan, Ribbono shel melech malchei hamlochim, what is it that I need to know? V'chen korea umachnias atzmo l'chol ha'amdim mitzadav. וזה כלל גדול במידת השלום, שבמקום להתעקש ולהכריח אחרים לבטל דעתם אליו, עדיף תפי שהוא יכניע את עצמו ויבטל דעתו אליהם, ובכך ירבה שלום בעולם. It's better that you מכניע yourself and מבטל your own das before them, and this is how shalom will come to the world sooner. Okay, so listen, chevra. It's not a vort. This is not a vort. It's something we all want. We all want this very, very, very badly. We all want shalom bayis. All of us want shalom bayis. We all want to snap out of routines and rhythms that already have dictated to us before it even starts that things are going to end up being the way they are. This is a Torah that we have to daven with. And I don't know if your minhag hasn't been, most of the chevra, I think you fold your tallis after Shabbos. Most of the chevra, you're not dafka.
Yes, sir.
There's an Indian, you shouldn't fold your tallis on Shabbos day. You should, because what does it have to... folding your tallis on Shabbos day is a hachana for Yom Rishon. Me'ein, hachana for Sunday morning's davening.
Also, some people say it's possible malacha or sartate.
Maybe. There's enough things to be choshesh from to say it's kedai not to makapel the tallis. That's exactly what the beginning of this Torah was, that even if you only have a Shabbos tallis that you're not going to use till next Shabbos, out the vort you shouldn't. Meaning, understand, you're not, maybe halachically, you possibly may fall under what Yeshua brought up still, even if it's just a Shabbos tallis. There may be a geder of a tolada over there. You could be of a malacha. But even if not, let's take it away for a second, out this, if he's saying like this, is like, if your kavanas are, then you're folding in Motzei Shabbos. So it's not like this magic that's going to happen, and then there's going to be shalom in the home because I'm folding my tallis and I remembered it's a sgula for shalom bayis. If you internalize the message that he said here, while you're folding your tallis on Motzei Shabbos, that'll put things into motion. It's not this inyan of, while you fold your tallis Motzei Shabbos, and then it's just, no. It's that you fold it, and remember, you fold it again, and you're saying, Ribbono Shel Olam, give me koyach to fold it again. And then fold it again. Because a few weeks ago, the way I thought Motzei Shabbos was going to be, didn't end up being like that. And interestingly enough, the week before that, it didn't end up being the way that I wanted it to be. Why am I under the impression that Einstein was actually wrong? That if I actually do repeat it that 80th time, my hitnagut of Motzei Shabbos, this time I'll get shalom because they'll all listen to me. So this is a real dugma of a vort, of a beautiful, rich vort, which is rooted in halacha, that we can invite into the way that we set up shop Motzei Shabbos. Okay, so kipla, 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 right? Fold and fold and fold. We all know, by the way, in the truth of our hearts, that it's never worked any other way. Right?
Even when I'm right?
Especially when you're right. Ben folds 5. The folding, the avodah of the folding is not a pashat Indian at all. But maybe on a Tuesday morning during the week, it's harder for me to do it. But if I'm taking with me the Kedusha of Shabbos, I take the power of Shabbos with me, then I'll go into, and then I go and I start folding. That could be why dafka, on Motzei Shabbos, this avodah of Vitor is better. Yeah.
I just want to add, I saw in the Sefer Bob Yad say so, it's like about Minhagei Shabbos, and it's spare Sefer, and it has like a little bit of the previous reasons why, and it connects into the fact why you have to do it more immediately, because there's sort of a Gilui Shechina when you have the tallis. That's the tallis is representing the Shechina that the wife gives you. So by protecting that Motzei Shabbos, the chitzonim, the external superficial energy shouldn't attach itself. It's straight away like sort of making, protecting it, bringing it together, and packing it away. So it shouldn't be taken away from you anyway.
Beautiful.
Shabbos.
I had this cheshek to actually do that sefer next. My brother bought it for me years ago. It's a beautiful sefer, so it's not like this though, but that's a beautiful concept as well. Anyway, the bottom line is Motzei Shabbos. This is a great Shabbos to start this and to start the week off right. If I'm starting the week off right with avodah of shalom bayis, you'll probably have a very good week, even if you're right.
This is before
Right?
Havdalah even? This is
After Havdalah. I do it after Havdalah. After Havdalah. You ever see in Chabadskis, after Musaf, after Kedusha of Musaf, you ever see what they do? And Chasidim Bichlal, actually, now that I think about it. Real like the Hamish Chasidim. Right after Kedusha and Musaf, they put the streimel on immediately. They put the top, Lubavitchers will go in, run and put their hats on right away. I saw Rebbe did this when he was, you notice that?
I saw that.
Yeah. Now there's a inyanim here of like every second is calculated. Every second there's an avodah. So our few minutes right after Shabbos is a very, I know maybe for some of you it's like, when I'm going to put my tallis unfolded back into my tallis bag and walk home, and then it's going to look unironed and not kovadik the next morning. What would you rather? El shtickle unironed tallis the next morning, or a Motzei Shabbos where there's menuchas hanefesh and shalva in the home, right? So this is a very opportune thing to do, and it would be good if everyone took this on. Okay?
What's the vote of the hat after Kedusha?
No, I don't know exactly. I'm saying, but I was just noticing, like,
I was wondering, yeah.
after every Inyan, there's moments of. Some people have a very big Inyan of going home the second after Kedusha of Musaf. Very deep in I don't know.
Shalom bayis.
Shalom bayis. If you're in Shirat David, maybe you'll.
Walk home with the tallis on.
Right. They don't makapel it because they know they have to makapel themselves 50 times over those first few minutes, right, when you walk into the house.
I learned at one point that on Shabbos you could fold your tallis, but not perfectly. Like you could sort of fold it
Yeah.
loosely, and then after Shabbos you can go in.
Yeah.
For the ones that are a bit shtickle more, whatever word you want to use over here about these inyanim.
OCD.
Yes, the istiness is in the room. Go for it, Achi. As long as there's the kavana of mekapeling yourself after Shabbos.
I need tallis with little tefillah.
Mamish, yeah.
The problem is if you fold it backwards for like so long, then that becomes the new fold. Like it doesn't work.
Okay, now one more over here.
Shabbos too. Like, what's the problem?
What's that?
You can bring the couple right on Shabbos too. Same kavana.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to wait for it.
He's not talking about the tallis, though, right? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Siman Bracha, the next one over here. Just one more we'll do. Kosav Harama b'Hilchos Havdalah. Nohagim lishpoch mikoshel yain ala aretz. From the Havdalah, there's an Indian to pour onto the floor. Anyone do that here? No.
Well, doing the shalom bayis.
I'm b'chavana bringing it up because don't worry. It's not like, we're doing this wrong too. No.
We pour the wine in.
V'tam ashficha damrinan. The reason why we pour is what we say in Eruvin. Kol bayit shelo nishpach bo yain kamayim ein bo siman bracha. Very, very interesting statement in the Gemara. Any house that wine isn't flowing, isn't being poured like water, there's no siman bracha in there.
We have a Havdalah bowl.
So what is this? I don't know. Chevra, we all know that none of us take the Havdalah. Chevra, who here thinks that now we're doing another chiddush? We're taking you guys don't pour it right onto the floor after Shabbos. What's wrong with you? Of course not. And all of us pour it onto a bowl or a plate. But pay attention to what he's trying to point out to us. This inyan, kol bayit shelo nishpach bo yain kamayim ein bo siman bracha. So any house that doesn't have, that the wine isn't poured like water, it's not poured like nishpach, being spilled like water. Ein bo siman bracha. Ve'osin ken lesiman tov betchilas hashavua. This is a good siman for the beginning of the week. So by many people, what's the inyan of overflowing with the cup Motzei Shabbos? And really everything, because Yeshua is, whose bris was it? Rav Shlomo's son's bris. So the Moel, I don't know which Chassidus he was.
It was Chabad.
Really? Yeah. The Moel?
He had a Chabad tallis on. I was also surprised. Yeah.
Because he had payas. He had payas, and he didn't do them in Hagim. Okay. Actually, that Shlomo was doing. That's why I'm asking.
Tallis, that's why.
I actually don't think he was. It would, but it should have been.
It'd be weird if it wasn't.
It should have been, but no. How do I know? Because there was a. He took the cup of the koshel bracha, and he b'shita didn't fill it. So Shlomo is telling him, no, fill it. He's like, there's no Indian. Fill it. He's like, okay, he was like, he gave in, and he allowed it to. Huh? Yeah. So I was noticing that. I also noticed there was a different minhag there that they don't say shechianu at a bris also, which was very interesting. I never saw that before. I never noticed it before. So we know that generally the concept of overflowing is a siman bracha of shefa and b'chol zeh. He says it a little bit differently here. He brings the taz. Kasav taz. In Sif Katan Aleph over there in that siman in Rish Tzadik Vav. Ubeikar haperush shel Amram kol bayit she'en nishpach bo yain kamayim en bo siman bracha. What they really meant, what Chazal really meant when it said that any house that water isn't spilling out like water, wine isn't spilling out like water, that there's no bracha. Lo nirali de tzivu chachamim lishpoch yain. I'm sorry, it's hard for me. The Taz is saying, I can't imagine that Chachamim is saying you're supposed to be spilling wine on the floor. It doesn't make any sense. Yesh iser b'zeh shel bal tashchis. If anything, that's forbidden because of bal tashchis. Ela nira li deniskavnu loymar shelo yisragez adam bebeso afilu im ye'era lo hezek. Dahainu shekvar nishpach yain b'shoigeg al yidei shum echad mibnei bayis. What is it really alluding to? It's alluding to the same concept we said before, that there should be a siman bracha, that I don't let the anger get the best of me when things happen, like wine being spilled all over the place or whatever, that I control myself, I contain myself. Sheshum davar lo, that things don't take me to places they normally would take me to.
We treat when something of value spills, nishpach lo yain, is we should treat it like it's kamayim, like something that doesn't cost anything.
Now that's beautiful.
Also, not even cost, like water spills. I say it's no big deal. It's water. It doesn't stain anything or whatever. Oh, it's always it's water. Don't worry about it. If you have that mentality of the wine spills, don't worry about it.
And also, yain is din, so it's an overflow of din, but you're treating it as if it's rachamim. You're just being like, it's all good.
Nachon. B'darkan shel b'nei adam lisragez b'shvil zeh. The derech we have, listen, normally we do, when things are spilling over the place, we're mitragez mizeh. Bichlal, when something happens in our house, and it doesn't happen the way that we are, that we like it, and someone else comes in and says something, whatever, it's very hard. It's bichlal, when someone comes and he does something into your house, or he says something about your house. Like, I remember one time I was in someone's house with a builder that was sitting there. He didn't build the house we were in, but he started commenting on like all the things he saw on the walls and niches and all these things. And the Baal bayis, Baruch Hashem, he didn't build the house either. He just bought it. So he kept on looking back at the contract and saying, I really don't care. Like, it's not really, I didn't do this. But I was thinking to myself when it was happening, like, what a mechutzaf, Not the Baal bayis, the guy that the builder. It's come. So when this happens, it's not you. When this happens, when someone else comes in and things don't go the way, listen, ever happened to you at your Shabbos table that you had a guest who completely controlled the whole avirah of the Shabbos, of the Seudah? There was no way you could get a word in. And even when you got a word in, it was manipulated back to you. You start thinking you're crazy. When someone else comes, so the Indian of Vitur, even on that, now, I'm not, obviously, al Chinuch, there's certain gvulot that certain dibur that you don't want at your Shabbos table, that's something else, but sometimes it happens that you're just caught off guard and you're taken bichlal to the other place. But loli tragez, to let it flow, to live out there, these are very important and high levels. Darkan shel bnei adam lisragez b'shvil zeh. Al ken amar. Kol bayit she'en hayayin shenishbach b'shogeg, nechshav lo ki'ilu hayamayim. Naftali, it's what you said. Ela adrab misragez, if you're not able to look at moments where yain falls down, but you treat it like it was water, and that's the tikkun.
Right, even if somebody spills, it's just water. That should be the whole energy.
Oh, it depends on the price of the bottle.
Depends what?
The price of the.
That's what we say. Water.
No, it doesn't.
Under the bridge.
Sasha,
No, I'm kidding.
I know. I want to make sure.
No, what it says, $1,500 bottle.
You know, the guy that can afford to put out a $1,500 bottle at his table shouldn't care. No, that's exactly the Indian. The Indian is, if that you saved a $1,500 bottle to show your guests was there, that means you can afford another $1,500 bottle. You shouldn't care, right? We can't put out $1,500 bottles, so for us it's a bigger test, right? Okay. Al ken amar kol bayit she'en hayayin shenishbach b'shogeg nechshav lo ki'ilu hayamayim ela adrab misragez. But if you can't hold back and you're mitragez when the yain isn't mayim, it stays as yain, as ein bo siman bracha. That's what he's saying. That's the chazal. That's what he's saying. Then in that house that you're going to mitragez on these things, sorry, ein bo siman bracha, and that's why dafka we start off by pouring kivyochol wine, right? Mashu meshubach yoter, when you pour it into the cup, into an area that it overflows, that you're not going to grab all of it. You're not going to drink out of that because the fire goes into that. So you're already like exclaiming, "Ushafte mayim besason," already there at the Havdalah. And you're saying, I'm setting the tone for the week, that I will not lose it over things that have in the past have caused me to lose it. I'm davening. Please Hashem, Motzei Shabbos. Please. I don't want to have any fear that I'm going to fall into the same traps, and bedidi havi uvda. And I'm going to be an example now, and I'm going to take that which normally should make a person be on shpilkas, and I'm pouring extra. You know, I remember the famous story of Akiva Eger. He has a famous story about him, is that he came home one year from Shul, Leil Pesach, and he must have given a drasha about real chayros is when you really are completely removed from being meshubad, from being, enslaved to anything in this world. So he comes home and he sees this big Yantiv Seder table set, and everything is all spitz. He's like, ah. And he pulls the tablecloth, right? He's like, ah, chayros, right? Now, that's you know why I love and hate that story? So I love that story because it's wow, chayros. What was the Rebbetzin, what did she look like in the moment that he did that in the kitchen, right? You don't have to do those things. This is Rabbi Akiva Eger, we're talking about G'dolim, but for us, we don't have to do big things. Pour a few drops of wine to make this Indian an Indian. That's it. The Amrina Perakama de Sota, it's brought in the first chapter in Sota, B'chol bayis sheyesh bo rogez hu siman anius chas v'shalom. Any home where there's anger, that's a siman of poverty, God forbid. Umiklal dvarav lamadnu להתחיל את השבוע מתוך שמחה ונחת, כי יש בזה משום סימן טוב, להמשיך את הברכה במעונו לכל ימות השבוע. This is the way, listen, there are Torahs where we would say, this would be nice. Then there are Torahs that are like, this is the way it has to be. This is the way it has to be. It has to be that the way in my home, we're setting the stage for the following week, is with this siman bracha. So I want to give us a bracha to remember this Motzei Shabbos by already. How did this all trickle down? By what? By Musaf. By Musaf already. This starts to trickle into the mind. This sets the tone for the way that I know I'm going to take out Shabbos, and Be'ezer Hashem, it should be a siman bracha for the whole week of Vitur. And trust me, everyone's always scared, especially when I'm right. Everyone's always scared. But what if I like so mevater, and because I keep on letting go, the principles that I think are so important will be completely forgotten. Emunah and bitachon in Hashem, one of the principles of this concept of trust and faith, is that the more that you're mevater, the emes that needs to be heard and said will reach those that need to hear it in your household. Much easier and better than if you're just persistent on that it comes from you. It'll get there. What's more important, that you're listened to, or that the emes that you're believing is listened to? All right. Good Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos. Shekoyach, shekoyach, shekoyach.